Hey guys, what's going on? I wanted to just do this little intro clip to tell you that the lesson you're about to see is from my Drumming Fundamentals course, and I'm going to be releasing these lessons throughout these next weeks. Okay, this was a paid course. This was part of the original course that I filmed for FisherDrumming.com for all the paying members. But you know what? This is one of the older courses. It's been around there for a while, and it's perfect for beginners. And I was thinking, I want to make this available to everybody, and all the beginners that are just starting out on the drums should watch this. It's just so valuable. So if you enjoy this lesson, the only thing I would ask you to do is give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We got tons more content coming your way just like this. See you soon. Welcome back. Thanks guys for joining me on this next lesson. I'm stoked because we're getting on the set and we're going to get into some grooves. So we've talked about how to count, how to read. We've talked about quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes. So now we're back in looking at beats. This time we're taking it to the next level. We're looking at eighth note grooves, specifically incorporating eighth notes with our kick drum. So you learn how to make different beats just by changing your kick drum placement. So I've put together a chart that looks at 20 different beats, 20 different measures, okay? We're changing the kick drum for each measure, so it's a whole new groove each time. It's gonna be challenging, moving it around in the measure. The cool thing is that your hands are gonna be playing the exact same thing the whole time. So as long as you can go on autopilot and you know the eighth note count with your right hand and your snare so well, you can honestly just kind of leave it in the back of your mind, just set it aside and try to focus all of your attention on placing your kick drum in the right spot and lining up your limbs properly. That's going to be the challenge. That's going to be the focus. So the first measure starts off as the basic eighth note groove. The next measure, we'll look at that, kicks on 1. Remember, snare's always going to be on 2 and 4, and your hi-hat's just counting time for you, okay? So it's on autopilot. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and our kick drum's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and now you can see at the end of each measure, there's those 2 dots like a colon. That's a repeat sign. So you play the groove once, then you repeat it another time. Then you move on to the next measure. Okay, that way it kind of sticks in your head and it gives you a little time to look at the next measure and get ready for it. Let's take a look at the third measure because I'm going to go through 4 measures verbally with you so you can see how to, prepare yourself for this and look at it. Then I'm going to play the whole 20 measures for you so you can hear what it sounds like and refer back to it in your practice time. Back to the third measure. What do you notice? Look at the bottom line. You see 4 kick notes. They're all quarter notes. We call that 4 on the floor. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. You're pushing the music along. You're keeping it thumping. You're keeping it going. Okay, every quarter note has a kick drum. Fourth measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So your kick drum's coming right after that snare. Snare, kick, kick. Real easy. You'll get it in no time. Start your BPM metronome slow, okay? Don't be in a rush to get this fast. The main thing is getting it clean. You don't want your hi-hat chopping all the way up here like you're gonna just start hacking a tree down with an axe. You just want to keep it simple. I'm going to play the whole thing for you nice and slow. So follow along, try to read it with me as I'm playing it, okay? Then I'll speed it up, do it at a faster tempo, and show you how it really changes the sound when you get these up to a faster tempo. So that's your goal. That's your end goal. Keep that in mind. I want to get through this whole sheet of music, these 20 grooves, without making one mistake. And it doesn't count if it's not on time. It doesn't count if I'm off the metronome. It doesn't count if I fiddle around and don't land my notes properly. I'm talking about if you can get through the whole thing without making any mistakes, not just an error of reading, but a mistake of you're way off time, or a mistake of your kick and snare aren't lining up. Those count as mistakes too. If you can get through this whole thing without any of those mistakes and it's clean like you're in a recording session, man, you're killing it. I just want you to know this takes a lot of time. This is not just a beginner exercise, okay? I'm stretching you here. You're reading, you're learning how to read, you're learning how to count, and you're learning new grooves. It's a lot at one time to handle. The one last tip I want to give you is it helps if you count it as you're playing it, okay? It helps if you're counting the eighth notes, whether that's in your head, but usually out loud, actually. Out loud, if you can count it out loud, that's probably going to help you a lot. It's going to help you stay focused at least. This is great because this is material that you can use months and months, years and years down the line. You can keep using this stuff. So make sure you put a lot of time into this and be consistent. A little here, a little there. Consistent is what pays off, rather than one big long session and then you never look at it again, okay? That's what I want to really communicate and stress about this lesson, okay? So have fun with it and remember that. So that's going to do it for the lesson. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.